Hey freshmen, over the next few days we're going to take a look at the North and South separately, and then compare and contrast them. Today we are going to look at the South. First, let's review. Here are our key ideas for today and our key vocab. Here are guided notes. Let's start with the environment in the South. The climate of the southern colonies was the warmest climate of the colonial regions. The warm climate was a positive factor for the colonists in the southern colonies because they didn't have to worry as much about surviving cold winters. The warmer climate was a negative factor for the colonists because the warm, moist climate carried diseases that killed the colonists. The geography of the southern colonies included a broad coastal plain which was hilly and covered with forests. The main natural resources were rich farmland, forests, and fish. The environmental factors that made farming in the South productive was rich soil, flat ground, and longer growing seasons. The plantations were specialized in growing one or two crops that were very large. They specialized in growing tobacco and cotton. Most of the crops were sent to Britain. Manufacturing in the southern colonies was not very important because farming was so profitable. If the colonists needed something, they made it or bought it from the traders. There were few craftsmen in the southern cities and towns because most of the craftsmen worked on the plantations. The southern colonies didn't develop an extensive trade route with other colonial regions because they traded directly with Britain. Trade in the southern colonies was a triangular trade between Britain and Africa. Now it's time to take your notes and turn them into a picture to help you remember what you've learned.